evening and welcome to this edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me as co-host, Andre Doc Manders. Well, Doc, plenty of cricket this weekend, plenty of results. We'll just run down some of the action that took place this past weekend, starting with the Western County that took place at the Southampton Oval yesterday. Southampton Rangers defeated Somerset Bridge by 7 wickets. Somerset Bridge were bowled out for 87. Southampton Rangers scored 93 for 3. And then in Premier Division cricket yesterday, St. George's Cricket Club won by 8 wickets over the Somerset Cricket Club at the Wellington Oval. Somersets were bowled out for 96 with St. George's 99 for 2. Today, St. George's defeated Willowcott by 7 wickets. Willowcott scored 129 all out, and St. George's got 133 for 3. St. David's Cricket Club won by 87 runs over Bailey's Bay. St. David's were bowled out for 189 and then bowled Bailey's Bay out for 102. Southampton Rangers won by 125 runs over the Somerset Cricket Club. Southampton Rangers scored 219 all out and then bowled Somerset Cricket Club out for 94. In First Division, Warwick Workmen's Club won by 39 runs in a low-scoring affair up at the Whitehill Field against Somerset Bridge. Warwick Workmen's were bowled out for 105 and then bowled Somerset Bridge out for 66. Flats Victoria won by 8 wickets over PHC at the PHC Stadium. PHC were bowled out for 119 with Flats scoring 120 for 2. Western Stars won by 214 runs at the Seabreeze Oval against Cleveland County. Western Stars scored 322 for 6 and bowled Cleveland County out for 108. And Devonshire Recreation Club won by 44 runs over the Bermuda Under-19 team. Devonshire Recreation Club were all out for 132 and then bowled the Under-19 team out for 88. So, Doc, those were the scores this weekend locally. Let's start off with that Western County. Clearly, Southampton Rangers just too strong for Somerset Bridge.
Yeah, I don't know what to say on that game. I don't know who won the toss, but I see that Somerset Bridge better first. I was watching a little bit of the footage. Okay. But I saw the little boy got what the wickets. What's his name again?
Nairobi.
Open Bill. Nairobi. He looked pretty good in that game. I think he got 3 or 4 wickets, and then he got Dion and Gennaro that came on and mopped it up. I think what Bridge done, they never got the partnerships good. They always lose the wickets. And once you're playing Connie like that, there you need somebody to stand up and make some runs. I think it was a little disappointing because for the Western Connies because I think the game finished a little earlier.
Yeah.
But cup games you don't take chances. Sometimes there's low scores. You never know what could happen. And I see Rangers lost a couple of wickets getting it. So that was a good result for Rangers.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're talking about Nairobi. Nairobi bowled 8 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 22. Gennaro bowled 8 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 30. And Dion Stovall bowled 7 overs, 2 maidens, 4 for 11. Yeah, you're right, because Somerset Bridge never got started. They were 1 for 23, 2 for 30, 3 for 36, 4 for 36, 5 for 44, 6 for 54, 7 for 58, 8 for 64, 9 for 64, and then a last wicket stand. They got 23 runs for the last wicket, and they were all out for 87. So they just never the first wicket and the last wicket were the biggest stands of 23 and 24. Where Rangers got off to a good start. They were 65 for 1, and then 65 for 2, 85 for 3. But they had a good start with that, like you said, partnership. And that, especially in a cup game, you want to build that partnership somewhere along the way. And it was unfortunate, a mix-up for um, for Somerset Bridge, where Adrian Burrows has been scoring a lot of runs of late in the first division. He hit a ball that Dion done well to stop, and he just started running. And the Regino Smith, who was a guest player for Somerset Bridge, was at the non-strikers end, just stood there, and basically both batsmen were standing there looking at each other, and Dion ended up throwing the ball to the wicketkeeper who ran Adrian Burrows out. And unfortunately for them, there went what they were hoping was someone that could get runs for them along with Regino. Regino ended up being the top scorer with 22. So
22.
yeah.
That probably where they lost it too, because like you say, Adrian has been making a lot of runs for Bridge. And with Regino there with him, that could have been a nice partnership. If they would have possibly got in, they probably would have scored some more runs. And see, that's what I'm saying. When you like team, that's how you win games, fielding. I mean, like I said, Dion Dunham got stuck. But those are the type of things that when matches catches run out, you know what I mean, and that's how you win games. Sometimes bowling, I mean, guys bowl, but the main thing is the fielding. So that could have changed the game right there. But like you say, Adrian has been scoring a lot of runs for Bridge recently. And it's too bad he got run out.
Well, in the first division yesterday down at Wellington Oval, obviously St. George's would have had back-to-back games down there facing two West End teams. But first they took on Somerset Cricket Club and managed to build them out for 96. Somerset won the toss and went to bat. Greg Mabry was their top scorer with 29. Zico Burgess had figures of 6.4 overs, 7 for 16. And then in reply, St. George's scored 99 for 2. Mackay Simmons scored 44 not out. Mabry took 1 for 15 from 4 overs. But just 7 for 16 from 6.4 overs, I would have had Somerset in a tailspin right from the start for Zico.
Oh, yeah. We got 7 early in the season too. The boy Walker. So now Zico, I think he got 7 for what, 15? You said
16, yeah.
16. So I look at who's the opponents, but once you get 7 wickets, it doesn't matter who the opponents are because 7 is 7. I mean, a good quality ball.
You gotta get them.
Yeah, so that's cool. And I heard it was quite a few of them that was bowled too. So so that obviously, and he just came fresh. You got to remember, Zico just came fresh from Bermuda's trip, down to Uganda. So I'm sure he's come back now. And saying it's starting to step his authority. Because if you look at it, I'm watching Zico's stats when he's down Uganda. He didn't bowl too bad down there. So kudos to him. He's getting 7 wickets.
Definitely. And I mean, for Somerset, they're still makeshifting a team week in and week out. I mean, the league team is struggling for players. Even today they only had 10 players. So, I believe they had 10 yesterday as well. So
they had 10 yesterday too.
Yeah, they had 10 yesterday as well. So, it's somewhere, some way, somehow, something's got to give. Playing short in cricket every week it's got to be a bit frustrating for the guys because you want to be able to. That means a hole is being left somewhere on the field that's usually plugged. Exactly. And what do you do? Because runs will be taken in that area quite plentiful. If when you have smart batsmen.
Exactly. And it's hard for a coach too. I'm sure Jeff must be scratching his head because Whereas the last couple of seasons, Somerset was having some great, last 2 seasons had some good, good seasons.
Yeah.
They was up in the top 3 or 4, and they was playing some good cricket. To come this season to be short, like I don't know, man, and they're really struggling for players because, like you said, being on 10 both days, and you can't, I don't understand it, man. It buffs me because I did cup match champs,
Right.
and to see them twice set the Sunday, to feel like 10 players is like, where's the players, man? What's going on? Like
The other problem is that it's not just been this weekend that they've been short. They've been short quite a few weekends. Which you got to be able to find at least 2 more players somewhere.
Yeah.
Got to be able to find 2 more players somewhere just to help out.
This is good when teams have a youth program. Like, you got to draw from them, even if they're 15 to 16. All right, when I played for Stars, all my brothers, and we played, even Roger Lavrock, Gregory Sampson, we started when we was like, almost played when he was 13. I started when I was like 14 or 15.
Right.
So where all these players are too, like to come in to fill the void, that'll be a good experience for them coming in at that young and playing, but I don't know what's going on, but like you said, to be short all season, I know they got a few injuries. Like you said, we talked about it before about some of the players being away in school, but still baffles me why they can't get 11. Both days.
Right. They got to be able to find someone. Register them and play. Even if it's just to fill the hill, it's got to be somewhere along the line just to get them over the line. I mean, kudos to the guys that are showing up every week and playing because we're in times now where some people will say, you know what, I ain't doing that. I ain't playing short, and just find something else to do. But they're showing up and they're playing. So kudos to the guys who are going out there and representing Somerset week in and week out.
That could be the problem, like you said. That could be the problem, like to go to with 10 men, in this heat, with 10 men, that could be the reason why some players are not probably showing up because they're playing with 10. Because right now, Somerset is using quite a bit of the evening league cricketers. So they're drawing from them. So which is good because you got some good evening league cricketers that play, in the evening league. So they're drawing from there. But these guys, they're some are up in the age, some of them don't want to play in the league, rather play, in the evening league. Whereas it should be most of the times for fun, but sometimes it's very competitive too. So and then again, it's 20 overs. Well, there's not only that. It's like 15, 16 overs, and then you're out of there.
Right.
So they're drawing from there. So that's good too. But still, man, I really can't understand it. And what's even amazing now, cup matches coming around. Like, so if you look at Somerset's team, like who they're going to pick from, like I'm sure you got the vice captain and captain, and LJ and a few others, but Chris Douglas too. They still got at least 4 or 5 good players, but still they still need some younger players there to help them out.
Right.
And I just feel so sorry for them.
Yeah, they've started preparation for cup match. Both teams actually with training on nights up at their club up at Somerset and down at St. George's. So players who are vying for positions have begun training. So it's just a matter of when we will see trial matches. I mean, I remember, Doc, during your time, you were playing Bermuda Day.
Yes, first we used to play St. George's. Best of Stars. We had trials against St. George's every year. When I first started playing cup match, May 24th or around that time, we used to play.
That's right.
We used to play. We used to have trials with them. That's how we started years ago. But
George's used to play Western Stars, Bailey's Bay, St. David's, and 2 inter-club games. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it was 5 trial
Like I
matches.
said, yeah, it was 5 or 6 trials sometimes you get. I think even a couple of years they used to play Cleveland too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but right now, with all the cricket that they're playing on Saturdays, they got the Central Conference, Eastern Conference, and Western Conference going on. So the
Right.
Central Conference is just finished. They're going straight
Yeah.
into the Western Conference. And
Yep.
if you look about it, then you would think the Eastern Conference will be starting just before
Yeah.
Cup
We got
match
2 weeks
too.
before the Eastern County. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's difficult to get the Cup match trials, because if you think about it, most of those players that are playing in those Connie games are normally playing the Cup match trials too.
Right. Well, I can see. I remember St. David's and St. George's used to play the Cup match trial, and St. David's used to use theirs as an Eastern County
Yeah.
trial, and St. George's was using theirs as a Cup match trial. So with Western County being on Saturday, and if neither team has any commitments, I'm pretty sure that they'll play their match. And yeah, TV Wade Memorial used to be a trial as well with Bailey's Bay at St. George's. I remember that as well.
Yes, Bailey's Bay and St. George's, yes. Cleveland, yeah. Do they still play? Do they still play that?
It was Cal Wade, yeah, Cleve's father. What's that? I'm not even sure, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. But
so I think last couple of years the trials has been very skanky. It's been like maybe two or three trials. Both teams.
Yeah. Well, last year Somerset had 1, and I think St. George's had 3.
2, yeah. But St. George's was always short with their trials too, shorter players.
Yeah, they were shorter players. Yeah.
But at least they had the trials though.
Right.
But so and in previous years, even when I was playing Cup matches, that would never happen to be short. If anything, you're trying to pick who you're going to drop out.
You could leave out, yeah.
Leave out, and not only that, it would be good if some of these players did play in Connie, then you could look at other players too.
Right.
Right now, it's not like that.
Right.
Maybe because with the COVID times and stuff like that, there, it's difficult for players to play both days now too.
Yeah. But we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll start looking at today's action in the Premier Division. We'll be right back.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends, and that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
And welcome back. Well, Doc, as we said at the top of the show, in Premier Division play today, St. George's won by 7 wickets over Willocots. That was 8 wickets yesterday against Somerset, taking on another West End team. Willocots all out for 129, and then St. George's 133 for 3. Another dominating performance by St. George's in the league. To take care of Willocots, who we talk about quite a bit because they always seem like they give themselves a chance to be in a game.
Yeah, it's disappointing. They didn't make too much runs this time against St. George's. Before they were scoring over 200. They'll give themselves at least they'll give themselves a chance to try to win the game. But once you score 120 against St. George's with all the betting line up they have, that's not enough runs. But like I said, St. George's slowly coming back. They got 2 good victories over Somerset over the West Side this weekend. So
it takes some ground out of
getting back there. They still have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
To catch like teams like St. David's and Rangers and Bay.
Right.
But they're still in the runnings.
Yeah. Speaking of St. David's and Bay, Eastern County affair at Lord's, St. David's managed to win by 87 runs. Davis Bay bowled St. David's out for 189, and you look at that St. David's lineup, you start saying, wow, 189. Ricardo Brinkman was the top scorer of 39. They managed to grab OJ for only 13. Ajon Lamb scored 34. Derek Brinkman scored 30. George O'Brien 26. But they struggled. They got 189. Well, not struggled, but they got 189. Bailey's Bay, in reply, they were 1 for none, 2 for 2, 3 for 2. They had Tavares out for naught, 1 ball, LBW to George O'Brien. Courage Durham was run out after facing 1 ball without scoring. And Brendan Otterbridge was run out after facing 10 balls without scoring. Terran Frey and Stephen Otterbridge then put on a 56 4th wicket partnership to get them to 58 before Stephen was gone, and then they lost wickets regularly again. It was only 2 batsmen in double figures, and that was Terran Frey and Stephen Otterbridge. Terran Frey scored 46 not out, and Stephen Otterbridge scored 25, and there were 21 extra, 17 wides. And go for them.
Yeah. Like I said, and that's not a good start. 3 for 3, against a team like St. David's has got, a really good bowling lineup. Like I said, chasing 189 runs for a team like Bay. You still need partnerships, and they just in the top 3 or 4 batsmen. Like I said, only Terrence stayed there. Him and Stephen. Maybe if Stephen would have stayed there a little bit longer with Terrence, then it'd probably been a little closer game. But like I said, St. David's has got a good, building lineup.
We don't talk enough about because George O'Brien took 4 for 19 off of 9 with 2 maidens, and Derek Brinkman bowled 10 overs, 3 for 19. As we remember, George, when he first started, was this fast bowler who intimidated batsmen. Now he's a bowler that uses a lot of variations. He's beating batsmen, off of swing. He's beating batsmen off of line and length. He's beating batsmen off of the turn of the ball. He's just using different variations to outsmart batsmen, which he's developed himself into this bowler that not for the pace, but clearly because he's able to think batsmen out.
Yeah. like I said, and George is definitely using a lot of, like you said, a lot of variation. But it's George thinks the game too. You know, he's been playing cricket a long time. You know, he ain't got that pace like he used to. But he does, like you said, a lot of variations, a lot of in swingers, little race swingers, slow ball. And he just built basically lying in length. Let the batsman make the mistake. And Derek's another one, you know, if it's left. Both George and Derek's were getting all the wickets for St. Davis, if you think about it. You know, so
it's funny because it's almost like a tandem where if those two are bowling, you want to try and wait out that 20 over spell. If they bowl them straight out, but there are times where you have to take chances, and I think that's where those two are dominating the bat because they keep putting the balls in the area, and the batsmen sort of get impatient.
Yeah, you still have Porter Dirt, you know, Justin Pitcher, and the little boy CJ. Left arm, and you see you got OJ if you need them. You know, they still got a fairly good bowling lineup, even though those two don't get the records because you still got, you know, you got Porter, like I said, you got OJ, CJ. So you know, they still got a pretty decent bowling lineup. Even if George and Derek don't get any wickets. So and like you said, that batting is deep too. You know, they're good. So from 1 to 11, George coming on making 26. You know, you got Derek, Ricardo, OJ, your boy Liam, that's runs Putter. So they got a fairly good lineup. That's why, you know, I think they're on top of the league now because of that. You know, they got a good all-round team. It's gonna be hard beating them.
Because they usually get 3 or 4 guys to show up. Always, either with a bat or ball, they usually get a group of guys to show up. And on the day they are able to, you know, just put teams in place. And then of course up at
No, I say, and with OJ back now, playing with him, you know, that even helps him out a lot more. You know, because he's been consistently making runs. I think this is basically the first time he hasn't got runs. You know. And you know, and a former captain, you know, that help, you know, to help out the skipper and like you say, you got the Brangman brothers there too to bet. So you know, they've got a really good lineup there.
And then up at Somerset Cricket Club, of course, Rangers won by 125 runs over Somerset Cricket Club. Rangers won the toss. And they went to bat. They scored 219 with Dion Stovall, 72 off of 92, hit 9 fours. He had an opening wicket partnership of 55 after 65 the day before. So Rangers getting off to a good start. And even though that took 9.4 overs, it's the stand that makes a difference because you got a good start. You know, and then there was another. It was another 48 run second wicket partnership with Alistair Lynch. You know, and that took another 10 overs. So they were 101 for 2 after 20.3 overs. But you still got 30 overs and you got 8 wickets left in the pavilion. So if those things are happening, clearly, you know, Rangers put themselves in a good position right from the start because they're utilizing the overs. They're not losing wickets.
Yeah, but Earl, they scored 212. 3 weeks ago, if you scored 212, that's not enough runs.
Well, not up Somerset.
Not up Somerset. So I'm kind of giving, even though they got those 2 good starts, I'm kind of giving kudos to Somerset for building them up for 212. Because normally, up in Somerset, 212, I mean...
219, 219,
I mean, 219, teams are up there scoring 300. And like almost losing.
Willicott was scoring 219 and losing by 100 runs.
They were scoring more than that and losing. So Somerset must have came back off of those 2 good starts to build them up for 212. But then again,
after the first 4, only Kwame Tucker was in double figures because Gennaro was out for 4, Charles Trott was out for 4, Teo Smith was out for a duck. Gerald Simons was out for 2, Nairobi was out for 6, and Kadi Aswad was out for a duck as well. So Somerset did fight back because they were They were 102 for 2 after 20.3 overs. And then in 23.1 overs, they only scored another 118 runs, but got 8 wickets.
See, and again, once Gennaro don't get no runs, Dion still making runs.
Yes.
Gennaro don't get any, then there's nobody else there to fill that void. You know what I mean?
Somers's biggest problem was they gave up 46 extras. 37 wide, 1 no ball, and 8 leg buys. Those 37 wides are costly.
Just imagine that they could have been chasing like 130 or 40 runs with these extras.
Yes.
So
at least 160.
Yeah, exactly.
170.
But the wides, and then how about the runs they scored off the wides off it too? I mean, you're going to get wides, but 30 something, and that's no way you're going to win cricket games like that. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Like
you had Greg Mabry give up 7 wides, Isaiah Richardson gave up 9, Jordan gave up 3, Terrence Corday gave up 15. And Azam Morrissey gave up 3. He also had a no ball. But when you start giving up those type of wides, you're limiting yourself to actually staying in the game. So it makes it that much more difficult. And
but
then,
like I said, they done really good to build them up for 219. So that's still kudos to them. But they could have, like I said, they could have been chasing less runs than that. But that's something definitely they need to work on. With the wides. Man. Not only some to have that problem. I'm sure there's a lot of other teams that do have the
without a doubt.
same problem.
Somerset in reply, only 4 batsmen made double figures. The evening league player James Albertis, he only got 20, but he got 29. He is the top scorer. Chris Douglas was out for 10. Greg made 12, and Isaiah made 19. They were 1 for 9, 2 for 32, 3 for 32, 4 for 41, 5 for 43, 6 for 72. So they were always in deep trouble chasing 219. Nairobi followed up his 3 wickets in the Western County the day before. He finished with 4 for 19 over 5.1. Dion 7 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 24. Gennaro 6.1 overs, 1 for 13, and Teo Smith 3 overs, 1 for 22. Charles Trott didn't get any wickets, building 3 overs, giving up 11 runs. So, and they only gave up 15 extras, and 10 of those were wides, with Dion giving up 6 wides and Gennaro giving up 3, and Nairobi giving up 1. So, they limited themselves, restricted themselves, and gave themselves a chance to put another notch in that Somerset team. Although once again, Somerset playing short.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying teams not gonna build wides. It's always going to be wides in 50 overs, no matter who plays. Like even the professional, it's going to be wides. But still, to build like 30, 25, or 30 something wide, it's uncalled for. It's uncalled for because it's so if you could keep your teams could keep themselves down under 10 wides again, the extras under. Yeah, exactly. And again, 10 wides, it's gonna be wides. You can't.
It's gonna be leg buys. It's gonna be buys.
It's gonna be buys. It's gonna be leg buys.
Your wide.
Keep yourself under 15 to 20 extras. You're always in the game.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what most teams will strive for. Like I said, always going to be extras. You can't stop extras.
Right.
The team that's going to win is the one that gives up the least.
That's right, without a doubt. But that's been a proven fact. Yeah. Now let's take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at the first division matches from this weekend. We'll be right back.
I I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Just putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. Well, Doc, down at Seabreeze Oval, Western Stars defeated Cleveland County by 214 runs. Western Stars batted first and scored 322 for 6. Trey Manders out for 99. He got booed on 99. You made your phone call yet?
I told him last time, a couple of weeks ago, when he got 95 against Devin Chirac. I said, how could you? I think he got billed again, or Abu Dhabi, I can't remember. I said, how could you get out in the 90s? Like, I said, man, you got 100. So today he goes again 99. I was like,
Yeah, jinxed it.
99 is not 100.
Not at all. No, sir. No, sir.
Exactly.
No, sir.
He ain't joined the 100 club yet.
Not this season.
Not this season.
But I watched him. I think it was last season. He seems to enjoy the Cleveland County Berlin because he I think he got 80 odd last year against them at Seabreeze as well.
Yeah.
He just seems to enjoy that and that Gavin got 62 as the opener, and Kyrie Furbert got 52. So it was 3 half centuries. Gavin's 62 took 118 balls. Now Trey and Kyrie shared a 150 6-wicket partnership off of 10.4 balls, or 10.4 overs. To take the score to that 322 because Trey got out the ball before the last ball of the inning. But those two 10.4 overs put on that 150-run partnership. I mean, Trey ended up scoring the 99. He hit 10 fours and 6 sixes, and then Kyrie made 52 off of 28 balls. He hit 5 fours and 3 sixes. So those two kind of pushed the score along after the good start that was given by first Gavin and Dante Wellman, and then continued on with Gavin and Sion. And then Jason came in with and scored 20 off of 32. But then when it was when Gavin got out at 172 in the 39th over. Then it was the Trey Manders and Kyrie kind of show, putting on, decorating the scoreboard, because the 150 and 10 overs, now it's the final 10 overs, but, the runs have to be scored.
Yeah, just blanked out a minute. Yeah. That that's amazing that he's scored 150 something in 10 overs. But Kyrie, I'm not surprised, and Trey, they've been looking really good in for the season. It's just that Kyrie hasn't gone on to get no runs, but I'm glad to see him get some runs now, because in the Nets, before I left, he was looking really good, and it's glad to see him now come, make some runs. And it's going to make more runs too, man. Stars has got a fairly good betting lineup now with Jason back, and my other nephews, Gavin and Jaden. Jaden hasn't got any. Jaden hasn't been playing that much this season, but Gavin back out, and now Jason, and then of course they got Trey, Kyrie, and then Sion. They got a fairly, and Dante Wellman too has been up in the order betting board, so they got a fairly good betting lineup and scored 300 against Cleveland. Cleveland was in first place.
Yes.
And then to build them up for 100 and something, that's a good result for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's just quickly look at that the Western Stars building, because Rohan Davis took 5 for 23 from 10 overs and 1 maiden to build Cleveland out for 108. I mean, Makai Young and Kushai Darrell were the top scorers with 18. Makai Young was not out. You had Stephen Bremer, who's just back represented Bermuda. He got 17. And Makai McGowan, who's been, hitting all the heels. He was out for 11 over 16 balls, but they were the only ones in double figures. The extras were 19, 15 wides, 2 no balls, 2 leg buys. Again, you said keep it under 20, you got a chance.
Oh yeah, you definitely have a chance, man, Earl. And I'm sure that's the emphasis most of the coaches are giving to the teams this year. And of course, what I say when I'm saying that, it's got to be backed up by the fielders too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Holding the catches, like you said, run outs. That turns games too. If you got a good run out, so that's good when you're playing 50 overs, even T20. To back up the bowlers with the fielding, and limit the extras.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And then up at White Hill Field, a low-scoring affair, a total of 171 runs scored between the two teams. Workman were bowled out for 105. Stephen Dill was the top scorer of 26. Corey Burgess got 19. Taylor Keynes 13, and Jacoby Butterfield got 12. You had Noah Woods bowling 8 overs, 1 maiden, 4 for 23. And Sean Riley, 5.4 overs, 3 for 18. And then in reply, a day after they got 87 against Southampton Rangers, they could only manage 66 today, and that was Somerset Bridge bowled out for 66. They only had one batsman, Jason Smith, in double figures with 26, and then they had 20 extras, 16 wides, 1 leg by, 1 by, and 2 no balls. So 66. They were in deep trouble right from the start. 1 for 7, 2 for 9, 3 for 9, 4 for 14, 5 for 32, 4 for 6, 6 for 40, 7 for 57, 8 for 63, 9 for 64, all out for 66. In the Burlington Keynes, 7.4 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 27. Luke Fulton, 5 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 7. Jody Maroney, 5 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 13. Keon Butterfield and Corey Burgess both grabbed the wicket each. But Warwick quietly, just doing what they can to stay in the hunt for promotion.
Yeah, but you look at that score, 102. You would think Somerset Bridge would learn a lesson from the previous day. Like we talked about it earlier about them like getting partnerships. Again, if you look at it, 1 for 2, 2 for, so they was always losing wickets. So they was never in the game. Like, I mean,
Right.
you done all that hard work and building work out for 102. And then like you don't give yourself a chance to win by a batsman not, staying there. Earl, if one of the batsmen would have stayed there and batted through the innings, they could have easily won that game.
Sure.
Easy.
Sure.
I mean, if Jason Smith made 26. I mean, if somebody would have stayed, one of the earlier batsmen would have stayed with him, chasing 102. It's like
Yeah, you gotta give yourself
they
that chance.
do all the, yeah, they do all the hard work, like building them out. Like I said, that team, and then like in 2 games they only scored 120 something runs. It's
Yeah.
not on, man. And they start off the season really good.
Yeah.
Think about it, they started off the season pretty good, winning a few games. I think at a time, after the first 3 or 4 games, they was in first or second place.
Yeah.
That's when the left-hander was making all the runs.
Right.
What's his name?
Adrian Burrows.
Adrian Boris.
Yeah.
He was
yeah.
getting all the runs, and now it seems like
he
he has.
got trapped WW for naught.
See,
Today.
so now it's like nobody else in chipping in to help. Like so, that's why you always need like I look at Stars team now with their betting lineup now. With all the players back now,
Right.
they got a really good betting team. Cleveland, I thought had a good betting lineup too, but when they got built up today, so I mean, each game's gonna be different. Cleveland might bounce back next week and score 300.
Right.
So
Right.
you still can't come flat as you got a good betting lineup too. So those teams there will always score runs. I think Flats ain't going across that top 4 or 5 batsmen for a little while. They've been,
Oh, wow, yeah.
yeah. So that betting's pretty deep too.
I think one of the things that is hurting Somerset Bridge as well is they lost the services of Donnie Charles, who got injured. And he's been one that's been able to. He reminds me of Sean Riley and Noah Woods. They pitch you in with ball and bat. And then if you're having one of those guys missing, especially what Donnie brings to Somerset Bridge, experience and a calmness of sorts. That's hurt them over the last few weeks as well, where I think they've lost their way over the last 2 or 3 weeks where he got injured. So
and also they lost Joshua Gilbert too, that was playing for them.
Right.
He hasn't played at all this season. I didn't think so, but for not a good batter and all rounder too. So to miss those 2 players is hurting them too.
Yeah. Then down at PHC earlier today, Flats won by 8 wickets. PHC were all out for 119. They started off in trouble. They were 1 for 10, 2 for 10, 3 for 10, and then 4 for 34. They had Jamari Beach, the top scorer, on 39. They had a 28 from Dav Hallman. And then 12 from Jaden Simons and 10 from Darian Gibbons. And those were the only players, 4 players right in the middle in double figures. In the bowling department, Kaiwan Franks, 7 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 22. Nelson Bascom, 5 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 19. Regino Smith, 4.3 overs, 2 for 11. And Kevin Tucker got 1 for 30. And PHC were always chasing to try and get a respectable score. Then in reply, Dejan Carey scored 52 as Flat scored 120 for 2. Carey's 52 was not out off of 70 balls, 8 fours, and Regino Smith was not out on 21 from 15 balls, 2 fours, and a 6. So, like you said, Flats haven't been crossed, utilizing more than 6 batsmen, the last few weeks.
Yeah, they got a pretty good all-round team, the damn Cleveland and Stars would be the teams to watch in the and Ward too.
Yes.
For fighting for promotion. So
Mhm.
the season is not quite finished yet, but I think those four will be the teams fighting for promotion.
Sure.
Especially
Any
now
final-
that Cleveland's lost a game now, so
Yeah.
um,
Has Stars
It's
lost a
gonna-
game yet?
yeah, Stars was lost. I can't
Yeah.
remember. See, and Stars last week against PHC were rained.
Right.
15.
Right.
So I don't know when other teams played, got points.
Yeah.
They had to share points with PHC.
Right.
So
Actually,
and,
yeah.
it's gonna hurt you in the end. So I don't
Yeah.
know like I said, I don't know what happened when the umpires report was the wicket unplayable or
Right.
was it be perfect. I don't know, but they didn't play, whereas the other teams played. So they,
Right.
I don't know if they wrote in for the points or if the board's gonna give them the points, being that the wicket wasn't prepared. I don't know, but from what I gathered, it's not gonna be it's no rescheduled. So if
Yeah.
it is that both teams are sure points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last first division game was yesterday at Devonshire Recreation Club. Devonshire Rec won by 44 runs over the under-19 team. Devonshire Rec batted first. The Bermuda under-19 team won the toss and sent Rec to bat. They built them out for 132. Darwin Adams was the top scorer with 29. Zakayo Hart was the pick of the Bermuda under-19 team bowlers. He took 4 wickets for 24 runs from 5 overs. However, in reply, the under-19 team were bowled out for 88. Deontay Durling was the top scorer with 20. Dion Ball had 10 overs, 3 maidens, 4 for 26. And Chris Daly bowled 6 overs, 3 for 20 for Devonshire Recreation Club. So, unfortunately, the under-19 team did well to restrict Rec to 132, but the batting lineup kind of hurt them.
Yeah. And it's still a learning curve for them, it's good that they're playing in the league, but they got to remember, like when you build teams out there, you definitely need to start, making some runs, building partnerships, and make sure they start winning some games. I know, most of those guys that in the team, it's from 15 to like 17, so most of them go play a game. And then I got half the players is still overseas, playing. A lot of the players are still playing in the UK too. So,
Yes.
but still, for the players down here, they need to start, making some runs. Like I said, that Berlin lineup is okay. The Berlin team's out. They're getting the wickets.
Yes.
The fielding's okay, but it's the runs what's cutting. Nobody's,
Sure.
nobody's not scored no big runs from them. And that's hurting them.
Well, we're going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk Player of the Week and Player of the Month. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
And welcome back. Well, Doc, we get to the part where we selected last week Corey Burgess as the player of the week. This was Corey's presentation as he was the final player in June as the player of the week.
Well, congratulations, Corey Burgess from Warwick Workman, named as the player of the week and knocked off 50 not out, helping Warwick to a victory over Devonshire Recreation Club. First of all, congratulations, Corey, and the knock. How valuable was it for your team?
Thank you. It was very valuable. We was in a bit of trouble at the time. Lost 2 early wickets. Had to steady the ship.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And Doc, the week before, it was Dion Stovall as the player of the week. We had presented Dion his award. Well, we get to, let's first of all, we want to talk about the player of the month for the month of June, just finished. And we had discussed, it came down to 2 players in Mikal Walker and O.J. Pitcher. Give us your thoughts on the player of the month, who you feel was the standout player.
Well, mine was OJ because he's consistently making runs for St. Davis. And not only that, St. Davis is winning. And OJ has been the main factor behind that because, he was scoring runs every game. I mean, he scored 160 something. He scored runs against Bay, Somerset, everybody. So, and that's one of the reasons why, like I said, St. Davis is in first place. So, I got to give it to OJ for the player of the month.
I can't argue with that. So O.J. Pitcher is the June Gosling's player of the month. Now let's look at this weekend and see who will be the player of the week, the first player of the week in the month of July. Yesterday, of course, you had Zico Burgess getting those 7 wickets for 16 runs for St. George's against Somerset. Dion Stovall for Southampton Rangers yesterday, bowling, taking 4 for 11 and scoring 39 runs. And then today he would score those 72 runs and get I think it was 3 wickets as well. Trey Manders, 99 for Western Stars. You had Gavin Manders scoring 62. Kyrie Furbett, 52 not out. You had Noel Woods, 4 for 23 for Somerset Bridge against Warwick Workman's. You had Nairobi's Mills with 4 for 19, 5.1 overs for Rangers. Stovall did get 3 for 24. Greg Mabry, 3 for 46, and you had Azar Morrissey, 3 for 37. In Bailey's Bay and St. David's match, you had Mikal Walker getting 3 for 27, Jordan Burgess 3 for 38, George O'Brien 4 for 19 off of 9 overs with 2 maidens, and Derek Brinkman 3 for 19. But just quickly standing out those numbers for you, who would you say favors the player of the week?
Before you go to that, don't forget Rohan Davis got 5 for 22 for Stars.
That's right, Rohan Davis. That's right for Stars. Yeah. That's right, 5. Yes.
But
5 for 23. Yes.
Yes. Well, like I said, Zico Burgess done really well. 7 for 15. You said.
7 for I think it was 19, 16. 19? 7 for 16. 7 for 16.
So I'm leaning towards Zico because, like I said, to get 7 wickets against anybody, I know it was against Somerset, but still, Somerset, still got a few of the top 4 or 5 batsmen can bat. So for him to get 7 on Saturday and then he got 2 today, that's 9 wickets in 2 games. So, it's Dion's can't take nothing from Dion too. You know, he had a good weekend too, making runs and taking wickets too. But like I said, to get 7 wickets, that's the second 7-wicket haul this season. We had early in the season, we had Kyle Walker. He got 7 wickets, and now we got Zico getting 7. So I think I'm leaning towards Zico.
Yeah, in our earlier discussion, I was leaning towards Zico as well. 7 for 16. So congratulations to Zico Burgess as the July Player of the Week. The first week of July against Somerset Cricket Club yesterday, he bowled 6.4 was 7 for 16. So again, congratulations to OJ Pitcher being named the Player of the Month, the Goslin Player of the Month for June, and Zico Burgess for being the Goslin Player of the Week for July, the first week in July. Well, Doc, things are heating up. You got a few weeks left. I see you're wearing your red already, so.
I'm getting ready. That's why I'm wearing it. Getting ready. I said, you're my red now. It's getting that time of the year, Earl.
I just figured the end of the month.
You can't see me. I'm got red and blue on me, but you can't.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. It's all good.
Upon us, mate.
Oh boy, is it ever? Is it ever?
Yeah, and what's interesting about it now, you know, St. George's is slowly finding enough form, whereas Somerset, you know, it's like I wouldn't say old to pieces, but you know, they got a lot of work to do, man. You know.
Well, I look at it in 2 ways, because you mentioned Somerset, but that's the league team. They have a few players that do play cup match in their league team,
right.
But it's the added value players that come in to make their cup match team that much stronger. And if you look down the line, you have the likes of Dion, you have Derek, who are doing well for their clubs, you know, and standing out for their clubs. So you start implementing those type of guys into the team that actually makes Somerset's cup match team a lot stronger. It's just, does St. George's players, the ones that come in, enhance that the club to make them a little stronger? And you know, given it's just 2 teams, you know, at some point in time, I remember when we went on that truck for a long time, and now it's Somerset's time. But eventually,
I'm just trying to build St. George's up. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. Got to pick them up.
Listen, we'll build ourselves up. You better come back and go up and help Jeff.
When it comes to those 2 days, they'll be all right, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Trust me.
And it's up Somerset this year. Come on, man.
that roadway that they've been playing on that a couple of weeks ago, that one that they've been playing on these last few weeks, that's the one that we're playing on.
Well, hey, it's changed, you know. It hasn't been much run scored up there lately.
That has to be another wicket, man. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna go up there tomorrow and have a look.
They're probably going off that wicket and trying a new wicket. So
yeah.
But like I said, it's going to be interesting. You'll find out in the next couple of weeks when the trials start, and when things get close to cup match. Then people could see which team is the strongest, or which team that looks good on paper. A lot of teams look good on paper, but when it comes to the 2 days, it's a different story.
Right. What I may do is try to get in touch with Vashon Blanchett, the president of Somerset Cricket Club, to join us next week, just to give us an update on how things are progressing for the Classic. Not the team per se, but more so the club and the facility being ready for the 2-day Classic. All right.
Well, you just can't get, but Shan, then you're gonna have to get Neil to find out how things is going on there too. You get.
No. We're not. What we're talking about is preparing the facility. I don't want to talk to Vashon about his team, because he's got other problems. He's got a big ball problem. His sorting out right now.
Okay. I don't want to make it look biased or just.
No. As the host, we'll bring on the president as the host. As the host club, and talk about how preparations are going, and then we'll get to 2 coaches at some point in time in on the show as well. So
before
see how that goes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, mate.
Okay, partner. Enjoy the rest of your night, folks. Have a good night. We'll be back next week Sunday with another edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. Have a good night.
Cheers.